Give a mic test. Give a mic test. All right, we're good. All right, everybody, thank you for coming to Byrdstown, Tennessee. I'm Steve Owens, the tournament director for the NEWPORT Bassmaster KAYAK Series presented by NATIVE Watercraft. As I mentioned, we're here in Byrdstown, Tennessee, hosted by the Byrdstown Pickett County Chamber of Commerce. Really appreciate everything they did to bring us to this area. Just to share with our brother Billy Robbins, who's getting ready to retire. Congratulations on that. But I guess the word this week about this place that I don't know that I've ever heard before is that it's world class. We've got a lot of great fisheries that we get to go to. We're able to do what we get, and the way they lot limit on this that we hope a lot of other communities will pay attention to as well. Because we've said it years, we started coming up here with a grassroots Kentucky club. Some guys used to run, and we just kept it going with our Tennessee stuff. And now we're here for the Bassmaster event, and we hope to bring more here and more stuff like that. So mentioned, want to thank NEWPORT and Native for coming in this year as our big sponsors. And you see we got Mark Cisneros running all over the place with his drone and his cameras. What he does takes what we do in this sport to another level. So I'd like to take just a quick second to pray. And if you're not a prayerful person, just have a moment of silence, please. Father, we thank you for our day. We thank you for our safety and the week that we've had here. We ask that you minister to our hearts and help us remove the things that we need to. Ask that we draw closer to you and that we be who people need to see for you. And we ask that you be with our friends and family back home. We thank you for all that you do in our lives and just thank you for your endless grace. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, we had 233 men and women come from 33 or 36 states. We had Ontario, Canada represent. We had 18 college anglers in this event from 3 universities. And we had 15 ladies through our Bassmaster Her initiative. We feel like that's helping grow. We had 15 ladies fish this event. All of those are record for us as a young series. We've been doing this for 5 years now, I think. 233 is our second largest tournament ever. And the fishing here was spectacular. Pretty certain we got over 2,000 fish submitted, 2,065 to be exact, and doesn't count what people don't need in their limits and toss them back. So we appreciate, everything the community does and it reaches out to us for it. What anglers are fishing for is a top 5 spot in our series, and that's how you make it to our championship. And from there, Dakota Lithium is back as our Angler of the Year sponsor, and the top 50 from those standings make it to our championship, along with your Bass Nationship qualifiers. 10% of that goes to it. Keeps our championship at around 150-ish anglers, which is where we like to be. But we just, we can't control how things grow, but it's just really, really nice to do it. So coming with that big catch trophy that you get for your Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year, prize comes with $5,000 cash. And so we've got Russ Snyder's won it back-to-back so far. So we got to see, and something I did fail to mention once before, we all know Russ is, arguably the best kayak fisherman we have. But if you look at Russ's season last year, and I think he'll tell you, because I know him and he was frustrated, but he didn't have a win. He had, I believe, like a 4, 7, 11, and a 21. That was his 4 tournaments, I believe. And so you don't have to, win to make Angler of the Year strides. And we already see that this year. This event being our 3rd event, we won't have too many people just yet because we did have an Arizona event, and that was for that area to get some notoriety and hopefully grow that relationship. So from there, we use TourneyX as our management app. In our opinion, it's the most user-friendly and efficient app that we have. And really grateful to have Dwayne and all the work that he does through there. So I'd like to go ahead and call up Carson Newman University and Campbellsville University. The Ohio State University team, they were already gone home. So just want to bring these people on camera so that they can get the recognition that they deserve. These 2 schools were literally the stepping off point for college kayak series. And that was the Hobie Bass Open series some years ago. And that ran for about 3 years. And, these are the reason that we were able to have this here now, too. So just give everybody a round of applause for these people that got to come out and fish with us. Within our event, we have a team championship or a team that goes as well, and those checks will be behind y'all for the individual anglers as well. Anglers, the major series as well. All right, so University weekend, their best 10 fish limit was 81.5 inches. Campbellsville University had 186 and 73/4 inches, and Carson Newman led 197.5 inches. So, congratulations, Carson Newman on the team event. We appreciate you guys. Y'all can go. Okay. All right, I'd like for Bobby Tran, Nathaniel Floyd, and Ewan Miner to stay up, please. Everybody else, return to your seats. Thank y'all. Really appreciate you coming. All right, I'm not going to give away the inches that these anglers caught because several of them are actually in the winnings on the other side, and I don't want to do a spoiler there. So I'm just going to let each of these talk. If you don't mind, grab that stack of trophies, please, Ewing. The check. All right. All right. Thank you. I don't have Sassy Dan here with me, so I'm one-handed. So, all right. In third place, Bobby Tran.
I just want to say thank you to my coach for bringing us down here. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Dugout, Land Big Fish, JD Custom Trailers, and my personal sponsors, Mustad, Dark Matter, Rods, and that's all I can think of now. But I mean, I caught them all up shallow. I'm not sure about everybody else. I didn't really talk to many people this weekend, but practice was good, and thank you.
Appreciate you, Bob. Thank you very much.
You
can go. We'll get group photographs when we're done. We'll let Mark do that. All right, in second place, we have Nathaniel Floyd.
I just want to fighting without him we wouldn't be here, and my family especially for just allowing me to do this, and my team especially because without them I would not be here, and or we wouldn't have this. And Bassmaster for y'all putting this on. It's truly a blessing to be out here, but I found it in practice, and that's what I did all week, and I just kept my head down the day flipping, and I found my big five I was looking for. So I mean, can't ask for much more.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, that leaves us for Ewan Miner. Congratulations, Ewan.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is I'll talk about the fishing later when I come back up, but this is my last college kayak event. It's been great. We had the kickoff here at Dale Hollow. We had 3 guys from Carson Newman and 3 guys from Campbellsville. I really have to thank Jacob Frey from Carson Newman, Campbellsville's coach, for everything they've done. You and AJ just getting this started. Kind of crazy to think there wasn't any of this when I came into college, and now what it's turned into, and I'm just really excited to see where this goes. But
it's been really great seeing you grow as not only an angler but a young. You didn't even have this when we started kayak fishing, so we appreciate what you do. You're a phenomenal role model for the fishing community, and I know you guys do a lot of good recruiting to help bring other schools into this, so we appreciate that too. Thank you. All right, we'll call out some names in a random order. If you would, just come up here and stand in the black lettering. All right, Nathaniel Floyd, Joshua Deal, Brandon Chavez, Jared Stanley, AJ McWhirter, Glenn Landstrom, Mike Elsey, Drew Gregory, Dave Crockett, Wyatt Hammond, Sheldon Reese, Tyler Phillips. Moulton drove on home to New York. All right, in this event, we had 233 anglers, so we paid $500 to Big Bass, and then we also paid the top 10%, which is 23 anglers. So I'd like to call up Joshua Sharp, who had the event big bass with 22 1/4 inch. You'll grab your medallion. Get your medallion. It's on the right-hand side there. Josh, we appreciate you coming out and fishing. You cashed a check on Kissimmee. Well, $900, $5 here for big bass. So just gonna let you talk a catch there. And if you don't mind, I'm just gonna use that there for decoration until we're done.
Okay. Yeah, so for the sake of a deep, clear water smallmouth lake, ended up being a pretty good shallow largemouth bite as well. So I got on a good frog bite in the morning, and my first fish of the day was at 22 1/4 on a frog today. But not bad. It was fun. Good start.
All right, man. We appreciate you. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, I'll think Bolt One. Brandon Grubbs takes care of all my electronics, so go for him if you need anything.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, do you need anything? Go ahead. All right, in 23rd place with 177 1/4 inches, taking on $750, Nathaniel Floyd. How'd your weekend go?
I mean, I generally just I like to scope, but I mean, if the larges are shallow, I'm going shallow. And I sat in about 3 foot of water all week, and I made sure I was pulling them out of heavy cover. I was mainly looking for trash mats, honestly. And I mean, if they're in the trash mats, I would usually find them. So it would take a while to find them, but I found them. So I mean, that's all I really got.
Got anything you like to flip with in particular?
Mainly a brush hog, reaction innovations especially, but I mean, mainly zoom though. I mean, doesn't really matter. I mean, anything green pumpkin, really just got the job done. I mean, honestly, and I was looking for muddy water the whole week. I was just chasing the muddy water. I found 2 areas where it was, so stayed in those 2 areas.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Oh, sorry.
All right, in 22nd place, 177 1/4, taking on $750, Jared Stan. Jared, I believe, is back to North Carolina. He's got to be at work at a.m. So in 21st place, also heading home to get ready for work, take $775 with 177 1/2, Georgia's Joshua Deal. And in 20th place with 177 1/2, taking home $8, Tennessee's Tyler Phillips. Tyler's a local Tennessee guy. They're yesterday. I'd like to tell us about that and just tell us how your weekend went and what you get it done here.
Started out the week. I didn't get to pre-fish any. Come down day afternoon, left work early, took vacation, and found out that my motor was fried from hitting a stump at Fork. Back home, I didn't get to pre-fish any, and spot Saturday morning and scratched together a limit pretty early and realized pretty quick I needed to be scoping. Caught 2 decent ones scoping yesterday. Didn't finish like I wanted to, and didn't place in our grassroots club. Went to my little honey hole this morning where I thought there might be some bedfish, and they were there, and caught those. Caught them on floating worm, and caught the biggest one scoping. And I caught one 4 minutes left at the ramp, 19 3/4. So it was a fun weekend. Thank you.
19th place, order Dave Crockett. Let you talk about how your weekend you think you need and what it took to get it done.
Thanks, Steve. 3 for 3 this year.
Yep.
Can't be better than that, right? This place is amazing. Spent all week, and I tried to trying to learn live scope, so this is a good spot to do it. I found balls of bait in the back of creeks, and I tried to focus on them. That didn't pan out, so I just took a Senko and went up shallow. That's pretty much how I fished today, and got up here. I just want to say thanks to my father, my biggest supporter. Thanks to my wife who's home with her kids, and my daughter Harper's got a birthday Friday, so happy birthday, Harper. And thanks to Robinsons for always a good place to stay and good company. So that's it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I stopped giving highlights and recaps of the season because I always screw it up and get it wrong. So I decided to stop doing that. So appreciate you, Dave. In 18th place, I believe you already took the drive back home, taking home $850 with 178 1/4 inches is Jake Moulton. And in 17th place, taking home $175 with 178 3/4 inches, Brendan Chavez. He's another local angler, fishing out of the CTKA club, man. Appreciate you coming. How'd you do yesterday in the big bass pot?
I did all right. I came in sixth. Ended up snapping one off all 3 days. I came down Friday and pre-fished and lost a big one all 3 days. But was scoping all weekend. I'd like to thank my wife. I'd like to thank CTKA. I'd like to thank Bassmaster and Byrdstown for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yep.
All right, in 16th place with 179 inches, taking home $900, our current Bassmaster KAYAK Series champion from Lake Fork, Wyatt Hammond. Wyatt, we appreciate you making it. It's a kind of a quick turnaround getting back, but North Carolina's not too far. But you, a lot different fishing than Lake Fork here, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I say you say giant smallmouth, I'm coming here. I say this is my second kind of time fishing for lake smallmouth. The time before was out of a boat, so all new experience to me. This week, I actually, for the tournament, I turned my sonar off, so I didn't do any scoping, anything like that. I put a glide bait in my hand and went down the bank with a glide bait both days. Smashed them yesterday. I caught 16 on it. It was an awesome day. Bunch of short ones. It's a lot tougher day today. I actually covered like 22.5 miles one of these days out of my old town. Just stand on the front deck, put the motor on 7.5, and just go down the bank, just throwing at every single tree, everything I could find, and a little bit tougher. Overall, though, still had an awesome day. I say glad to be out here. Thanks to Old Town. I say it was running. Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Thanks everybody.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Good to see you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, in 15th place with 179 inches, taking home $925, Drew Gregory. Good job, man. Good to see you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, I'm thrilled to be up here. Every time you cast a check, obviously you're thrilled that you're heading into every tournament. At the same time, I'm allowed to be a little bit deflated, right? I mean, because today I just lost big fish after big fish. I chased smallmouth yesterday, went after largemouth today, and figured out they were on beds because I only had 1 day of practice. We're 1 day as I got here afternoon on Thursday. And never fished this lake before, but man, that was fun back there in the beds and the trees and the flooded woods with the largemouth. I found them, and each one, you guys know bed fishing. Every fish you catch off a bed or miss off a bed has its own story, and I'm not going to bore you with all of it, but I lost about 3 or 4 of them that would have been 18 plus, and couldn't get any of those in, and ended up with 86 1/4. And thankfully, my smallmouth yesterday at 93 inches helped me be up here cashing a check. So you guys are all the best kayak anglers in the world. So again, super thrilled to be up here cashing a check against all the talent in this field, but also feel a little bit deflated, but what it could have been. But anyway, that's pretty much. Just thank you guys for coming here. Even thank God for creating some amazing fishery with the help of man, I guess, since we made the dam. But well, he made us, so I guess that counts. Anyway, thank God for that, and appreciate all you guys, all the hospitality of Byrdstown, Tennessee, and we'll be back, I'm sure. See you at the next one, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll take that back too. All right, in 14th place with 179 1/4 inches, taking home $50, Sheldon Reese. All right, man, we'll let you get into your how long you were here practicing and how your what it took for you in your tournament here.
Yeah, so we got down here. Me and my brother drove up from St. George, Utah, so about 27-hour drive. Truck only broke down once. Broke down one more time when we got here, but we made it. It's been a fun time. This is an awesome fishery. Glad we came here. First day was pretty consistent for me. Caught a lot of 17 to 18 inchers, and then I just needed that one big bite. About 12:30, caught a 20 and a half smallmouth on a chatterbait. And that was my first day. Today, it was a little rough. Caught a bunch of 14, 15 inchers today. Had 79 inches until 1:15. 45 minutes left. Within a 5-minute period, caught a 19 and a 20 on a G-Money jig. And that sealed it off for me. But it's been a fun time. Glad we came out here. Thank you guys for putting on this great event. Like these fishing and tackle work. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, in 13th place, taking home $1,000 with 180 3/4 inches, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a little deflated as well. Glenn Landstrom. What a jerk, right? I'm sorry. All right, man. Hey, obviously, yeah, he was our day one leader with, what was it, 98? 98 and a half inches. Today, not as good a day, but you still got to get up here and take home $1,000 and get some valuable points. Just let you, you were messaging me through the week, some gorgeous fish. So I'll let you just talk about what it took and what changed on you, I guess, today.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what changed. Otherwise, I would have caught them today. I know they were out there. I targeted both largemouth and smallmouth pre-fishing. I was mid-lake, largemouth fishing, punching brush with a Tokyo rig and a b.a.s.s green pumpkin Cinco, and did well, like 93 inches a day roughly in that area. And then I came on this end of the lake, more or less, and found a spot on a spot, just an offshore spot. It was the only rock pile for probably quarter mile on that spot, and it was loaded. Day one, I think I counted about 60 bass sitting there on scope, and it was magical. I'll never duplicate it, I don't think, but I had a blast. That's about it. Today they were there, they just wouldn't bite. I don't know if the water temperature dropping 4 degrees made that much of a difference, or if they weren't pulling water, or what was happening, but it just wasn't my time, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with my nonsense. Biz Baits and Miller Tech batteries for sure. My friend runs Strictly Sail and Kayak out of Ohio. I got to thank him too, because he always helps me out. So, but that's it. And hi to my kids. Thank you. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We really appreciate you guys highlighting your sponsors. As he mentioned, Strictly Sail there. The Taseys are good people. They help take care of a lot of the kayak community, and that's what we need to continue to foster in this sport, where we have such a great fellowship with one another, but also the businesses that support us to be able to travel. So in 12th place with 182 inches, taking home $1,100, Mike Elsey. Mike, we appreciate you making it. Mike's a champion. He's won a lot of dollars in his day. We appreciate you coming up here and getting money with us in Byrdstown, Tennessee this week.
First time here. I've been around it, but never been on the water before. So it is just such a beautiful lake with all the mountains and all that. Practice was pretty good to do the smallmouth scoping thing, and I'm just not there yet. I need more practice. So I resorted to fishing shallow for the most part, and I found a lot of largemouth, some on bed, some pre-spawn, some post-spawn, pretty much all three phases. Most of my damage this week was alternating between shaky head, jib. I did flip, some trees and things with a biz-bait sassy stick and a creature bait as well. Yesterday, I had a quick limit. I had my limit by 7 o'clock. Actually, I just pulled into a little pocket, and it was pretty cool. It's like every little piece of structure that was in there had a fish on it, and I had my limit in like 10 minutes, and I just flip there, and there was a fish on every one of them, and so it was pretty fun. The downside was I went the whole rest of the day without being able to really upgrade, so that was kind of frustrating, but that's the way it goes. I never, like I said, I never did really get on the smallmouth. A couple here and there on practice, nice ones, and others just didn't help. Today, honestly, didn't really know what to do, if I was going to go to the same place or just go back at least where I started yesterday. My very first cast on the point outside of the little spawning pocket, I caught 18 3/4, I think it was, and 2 casts later I caught a 19, and so I just decided to stay there for a minute. And then it's 8:30, and I have my limit, and the smallest is 18 1/4, or all off the very same spot. So that was my day today. I could have loaded up at 9 o'clock and headed home, because I again went all the rest of the day with being able to upgrade. But nonetheless, it was a great day. It was a fun and beautiful. Again, I just can't get over how beautiful it is down here. Want to take a minute to certainly thank God for this great creation, and all my sponsors, NATIVE Watercraft and Yak Attack, Rogue Fishing, Fitzgerald Rods, Titan Tungsten, Schmack and Bait and Tackle, Biz Baits, and the rest of my team. I've got great support and very, very appreciative of them. Newport as well has come on board. So I certainly couldn't be here without them, and definitely want to take a minute to thank my fiance back home for her support. She's my cheerleader and my rock, and I couldn't be here, or wouldn't be here without her either. So just thank everybody here. Thank Bassmasters for this great event, and looking forward to the next one.
All right, in 11th place with 182.25 inches, taking home $1,200. A man we owe a lot of gratitude for what he's done in our sport and our community, Mr. A.J. McWhorter.
Thank you, Steve. Can I get one of those things?
That's the second one I've given to you in my life.
All right. Dale Hollow is one of my favorite places, and this is one of my favorite times of year to be here. As you've heard all the anglers talk about all the different ways that they were catching them, it's kind of what this time of year is all about. How do you want to fish? You can find that bite somewhere on this lake here and caught the biggest fish of the tournament. That's the coolest thing ever, because I don't know anybody that fishes a frog down here, and he nailed a giant. So it speaks volumes about this lake, this time of year specifically. Steve and Bass brought us here. It actually motivated me to actually fish for the first time this year. I've not been on the water since November until practice started on Saturday. I was on the fence until the very last minute to fish. To be honest, I really don't know if I could hang with you all. It's been a long time since I fished on the national level. First tournament was a year ago, the Tennessee Bass Nation here on Dale Hollow. I was able to win that one, but that was the very last time I entered a tournament, and it's just different at this level. You look at the limits that these anglers have put up, and they do it all over the country. I got to stand on that side and watch them do their thing. And it just impressed me. And everybody's like, oh, AJ used to fish. AJ used to be that guy. And I was like, yeah, I used to be, but all these anglers have gotten so much better, and technology is way beyond me now. But I was able to come and do what I love to do this weekend. Day one was rough for me. I either had a great plan that I didn't execute, or just a bad plan. So I don't really know which two, but it was one of those two. But I came out of the day with 86.5 inches and learned some things that I applied today. Went to a little bit different area. First thing this morning was really just targeting dark trees inside of points, really small cuts. And there was a smallmouth on every one of them. I had 94 inches in about an hour. It was an awesome time, and just kept working that pattern and focusing on some points, and using finesse worms, finesse jigs, 8-pound line, spinning tackles, kind of my favorite way to fish, especially here. Ended up culling a couple more times. Smallest fish in my limit ended up being 18 3/4. So it was hard to kind of get over that hump again, but our boat and get to catch a check, and then listen to the 10 top anglers of this event who really earned it this week. So want to thank Hobie Eyewear, St. Croix Rods, Lowrance, all the equipment that I use as companies that have long supported kayak fishing. I like to support them because they support us. So check out the sponsors of these series of your local clubs. Those products make it happen. I want to thank Byrdstown, Tennessee, and obviously this community, but this lake spans 2 states and a lot of communities, and the community that this lake involves is just a special place, whether you're on the north side or south side. As a Kentuckian, I love this lake because we claim it, but Tennessee claims it too. It's a special place, and we all come together here on Dale Hollow. And thanks, Steve, for bringing us here. Thank you all for just kind of letting me be an angler this week, and I had a lot of fun, and maybe I'll do it again sometime. So thanks, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, AJ and these anglers obviously we've spun our own tales about this beautiful fishery. This is actually part of an initiative we have in the state of Tennessee called the Bill Dance Signature Lakes. You can look that up online and get the list of lakes, but it's a really great thing that we're able to do with these communities and do. The Bass Open Series are actually a supporter of our Tennessee Bass Nation Series too. So we appreciate the support that they show there too. So all right, I'm going to call up our top 10. If you'll stand over there on those black letters, it would be great. Ron Butler Jr., Alex Miller, Jake Angulas, Seth Taylor, Ross Pinkerton, Russ Snyders, Adam Milstead, Jace Isaacs, Derek Brundle, Ewing Minor, all right, in 10th place, taking home $1,405 with 182.5 inches. Grab your check and come up, Alex Miller. Alex, we appreciate you coming down and the support you give series. We'll let you talk about how your practice and how your event went here, and anybody got to thank?
Well, I got down here pretty late, some unfortunate circumstances that came down, but I had a day and a half pre-fishing, really couldn't find any smallmouth doing what I like to do, so I decided to go to the woods and got as shallow as I caught, and I was fishing about a foot and a half water or less. Caught all my fish on a buzzbait and then flipping the rage bug. I went through about 4 different colors because I kept on running out of rage bugs throughout the week. But yeah, it was a fun place. I usually hate Highland reservoirs, but this one ain't all that bad, considering all things said. But I have to give a huge shout out to my family, my friends, everybody that reached out throughout the week. I couldn't do it without them, and definitely Dakota Lithium and Bassmaster for hosting awesome events. You guys, top notch. But yeah, I can't wait to get back up north to real smallmouth country.
When God made smallmouth, he made them here first and then just took them everywhere else. In 9th place, taking home $105 with 183.5 inches, Ross Pinkerton. Good job, Ross. I'm going to let you talk about your practice and how everything went and what it took to get you up here, man.
Thank you. First, I just want to thank God for giving me this opportunity and keeping us all safe out there. Dale Hollow is it's the best fishery I think I've ever been to. I haven't really ever caught smallmouth before this, and I caught a 20 1/4 inch smallmouth today, and it came up jumping everywhere, and I was having the best time I've ever had. I was targeting spawning fish that were out a little bit deeper than I think most people were fishing. I was using my Humminbird Mega Live and throwing a drop shot worm pretty much all day yesterday and today. Earlier in the week, I caught some Scopo and some on a Wacky Rig Cinco up show, but the tournament days, it was just drop shot, 6-inch worm, morning dawn, and that's it. I also want to thank my family, my friends, everybody who has been so supportive and all the love that they give me. I wouldn't be here without them. And I want to thank you, Steve, for all the work you do. You know, it takes a lot of time out of your day, and we all appreciate it. All the anglers here, you do it all for us, and it just means a lot to us. So thank you.
Be safe. Thanks, Steve. All right, in 8th place with 183 3/4 inches, Tennessee's Ron Butler Jr. takes home $1,605. Ron had to head back over towards West Tennessee, so we'll bring up our 7th place angler, taking home $1,705. And very nice Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year points, which I know is a goal for this next angler with 184 inches, Derek Brundle. Seven. All right, Derek, well, we appreciate you coming down and the commitment to the series. We'll let you talk about how your week went.
Yeah, we got here Saturday, so we got a ton of practice in. Pretty much only went to, I think, 3 different ramps and found the same pattern everywhere we went. Ended up just finding some bushes and started flipping bushes, and it just turned to be lights out. This morning in particular was pretty wild, but I want to bring up one particular incident today. Ross was there. We were sharing water together today, and we were kind of separated, and we saw this fish come up and jump about 100 yards from each of us, and we both kind of snapped our heads around alert, and it jumped again, and then Ross just kind of pointed like, you go ahead after it. And I went flying over there as fast as I could get over there, and it kept jumping and jumping. And by the time I got there, I realized that the fish was choking to death. It was a smallmouth, and it ate a giant bluegill. I mean, it had no business eating this giant bluegill, and it was jumping. So I threw my rod down and I grabbed my net, and I just drove up to it. I netted it mid jump, and I got this on GoPro, so I better win a GoPro for this. So I netted it, and I actually spent about, I don't know, probably 5 minutes ripping this bluegill out of this thing's throat. It was stuck so much in there. I had to cut the bluegill in half and then pull it out in pieces to get it out. And then finally releasing a half-inch smallmouth. And that bluegill was definitely probably bigger than my entire hand. So that was a pretty cool experience. Besides that, I had a blast. Dale Hollow is such a cool place, like everybody has said, so I'm not going to repeat too much, but you can go do anything you want on this lake. I caught him on a frog like Josh did during practice. That was pretty cool. But I just want to thank my sponsors, New Canoe, Yak Rods, Amped Outdoors, Devaney Energy, Thrasher Sports Apparel, the Bomb Anchor. I also want to throw a pretty big shout out to Jake and the rest of my teammates here with New Canoe. Jake kind of gave up some juice on the forward-facing sonar, which I am not a huge forward-facing sonar guy, but I got that new Lowrance Eagle, and I put in some work with it this week. And the second half of the day, on both days, I put up some pretty good fish out there with that forward-facing sonar, so I'm starting to kind of go to the dark side a little bit, I think. So thank you, Jake, for the juice. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks, Steve, for you guys coming out. Appreciate it.
Be safe. Thank you. All right, in sixth place, taking home $2,105 with 184 1/4 inches, Adam Milstead.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bassmaster. Thank you, Dale Hollow. Beautiful lake. I started out not liking this lake at all. My practice stunk. But then I found the juice and let it loose. And honestly, it was low and slow, which is my game. Like, I don't like to pound the bank. I hate to say it. The only thing worse than a live scoper is a netter. And that's what I did. And I netted, just netting a Fatty Z, bluff walls. That was the ticket. And man, the smallmouth here are awesome. I come from Pittsburgh, so we got the Susquehanna, we got Lake Erie, we got all the smallmouth in the world. And I'll tell you what, Dale Hollow has some awesome smallmouth. They really match up with what we have in you. So anyways, yeah, it was an incredible day. Today, I don't know what the heck happened, man. I must have found the one spot to the point where I was able to get 3 1950s and one of them in the same fish 2 hours later. So it was just between that and then another 18. So it was an incredible day. Started my first day off with only 89 inches, so I knew I had to make some ground, and my wife was cheering me on. So big thank you to my wife back at home. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She's taking care of 2 3-year-olds right now, my twin boys, and God bless her because they're pretty crazy right now. But so thank you for doing that and allowing me to live my dream. I guess I'll just get into thanking my sponsors. I want to just thank NATIVE Watercraft, which I was happy to see that they're on board with Bassmasters here. I fish out of the Native Titan X. I don't need to go in any other boat like that. It's amazing. Fishing online, the River's Edge Canoe and Kayak Shop, Cross Kick Shoes, Hobie Eyewear, Sunglasses, Grove Life Outfitters, and 412 Bait Company. And for people out there who don't know, there's a Susquehanna secret that if you do come up to the river, you should have this spinnerbait on, and it's the Dream Sickle from 412. And that was actually on down here at Dale Hollow. It's a strictly straight up gold spinnerbait, and it was on. But the big ones came on the Fatty Z, low and slow, like I said. So, but thank you guys. God bless.
Yeah, Jake, a testament to his character. Everybody knows he's a phenomenal person, but when he called and actually ahead of time let us know about that potential duplicate, and we loaded it up there, and sure enough, on the Tourney X, kind of supposed to check it out, and it was a duplicate, but that dropped from 3rd to 6th. So we appreciate it. And he was just as chill and as understanding as you could be. It's one thing as a tournament director, you're always nervous about contacting someone, letting them know of a deduction or a penalty or something like that. But we appreciate Adam and what he's done so far in this series with us. So, all right, these next 5 anglers will qualify for our Bassmaster KAYAK Series Championship that's held in conjunction with the Bassmaster Classic. Next going to be in Tennessee. So you may end up fishing pretty close to. So, we'll get that announced hopefully pretty soon. But in 5th place with 185.25 inches, taking home $2,655, Jake Angulas. Jake, you get a piece of hardware too. 5th. Jake, we appreciate you. A lot better event than some in the past, but we appreciate you showing up and fishing to let you just get into your week.
Practice was really good. I got here, rolled up to the first laydown, flipped a jig in there and caught one. Did that for about an hour, and I said I was sick of it, and put the scope in the water, and we went to work the rest of the week throwing jig head minnow. I think I had 6 minnows on, all spinning rods, and your smallmouth down here, these ones love to come up and look at them and not eat it. I think I was casting at probably 200 fish a day and was getting 10, 12, 15 fish a day. So they're definitely educated down here, but it was a great week. I want to thank Sniper Marine. They make one of the best live scope mounts on the market. Couldn't do it without that pole mount, not having to bend over or reach out over the side of your boat. Definitely helps a lot. Running that power pole moved trolling motor, so I was around doing tons of miles, not barely sipping battery with the brushless. New Canoe, been with them for a while, great kayak, and yeah, I appreciate you guys running these events.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Jay. Good to see you. All right, in 4th place with 185.25 inches, taking home $2,855. A Bassmaster KAYAK Series champion and back-to-back Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year, Russ Snyders. Check. Piece of hardware there too. Thank you, Russ.
Thanks. Yeah, good to see you too. So yeah, Dale Hollow. I live, not too far from here, maybe 2.5 hours. I don't really fish it too often. I've probably been here probably less than a dozen times, and just about every time I've been here, it's been in the winter, which fish is completely different than this time of year. Also fun, great winter fishery. But yeah, today, this weekend, the water is way up, and all that water's in the bushes, and I was, really I had a half day to practice. I had a little bit some truck issues I had to deal with, and yeah, and during tournament I was kind of scrambling the whole time. Started out fishing shallow in bushes, couldn't get them, and some suspended out deep, so was using forward facing sonar with the minnow and got a couple doing that, and then hours of yeah, as Jake was saying, just there's so many fish in this lake, and they're so educated, and there's several hundred fish a day probably saw my lures, and I couldn't help but get the feeling that it's hard to get the feeling that you're throwing the right lure when you are looking at it and kind of rejecting it, but only caught about 7 fish each day. And at the end of the day, around noon, picked up a glide bait on a steeper kind of bluff wall, just a rocky, it wasn't, probably 45-degree bank, something like that. Got a few smallmouth, and every one of them hit it right at the rod. It was literally like 2 feet of long, tip my rod, and had to free spool it and lost one of them, but got that my yesterday. Day again was kind of scrambling, and got one on a jig head minnow, and finally got another bite. I got a good one on a glide bait, and just decided to lock that in my hand pretty much the rest of the day. And I think I caught 6 fish today. I had a couple. I'll tell you a quick story, but I had I was fishing around some buckbrush with the glide bait, and I snag up on a little stick sticking out, and I start shaking it, and one comes straight out of the bush and grabs it and starts thrashing around. It's connected to the bush still and comes off. It's like a 19, and literally 10 minutes later, the exact same thing happened where I snagged on another branch. Another fish came out of the bush, grabbed it, started shaking, and came off. But yeah, definitely happy with this few fish that I caught. I'm happy to be up here, and really want to thank Bassmaster and Steve-O and for all the work you guys put in, create opportunities for us. And I'll thank all my sponsors. I'm running the Bonafide PWR 129 with the Torpedo 1103, and there's iRod, Dakota Living of the Year, and all that they do for the sport of kayak fishing. iRod, Music City Outdoors, the local kayak shop here in Nashville, Catch Outdoors, One Objective, and Yak Attack. But yeah, had a great week up here. A lot of fun. Thanks.
All right, in third place with 186, taking home $3,855, our Possum Kingdom champion from last year, Jason Isaacs. The big blue trophy, my man. There's your check. Appreciate you. All right, man. We'll let you talk about how your weekend went, and don't scare me like you did on day one anymore with them photographs. But we're glad you overcame that, man. We appreciate you coming and traveling with the series.
Yeah, I got a deduction on day one because my board sucks. I like you. But anyway, if I refund and went home, I would have, because I'm in like a tremendous amount of pain. My right arm's jacked up big time. But I'm kind of glad I didn't now. I fished a portion of like Wednesday, like not the full day. I had like 4 fish. Thursday I only had like 4 fish. So I pulled a Possum Kingdom and decided to fish brand new water that I'd never seen. And I just motored until I had about 4 minutes to go, and I stopped at the very point and just started there. It was like a really brief shad spawn. I caught like a 19 and 18. Well, it was a 19 and a quarter. And then just fished down that bank. And I used a shaky head with a Fatty Z. And I think I had 4 smallmouth and 1 largemouth in my bag yesterday. And I did the exact same thing with the exact same bait and had 4 largemouth and a smallmouth in my bag today. It was super weird. It seemed like the smallmouth were where the largemouth should have been, and vice versa. Like I caught a 18-inch largemouth right on the dam, literally on the dam, and I was like, I don't know. It was just really weird to me, but it's okay to be weird sometimes, I guess. I want to thank my dad. He's always with me, typically. I want to thank Z-Man, Dakota Lithium, Finline, and Hobie Eyewear. And thanks, Steve and Bassmaster. You guys are great. Yep, that's it.
Take care of that arm. All right, I thought it was going to be a runaway for a long time. Our leader was up by about 7 inches on every one, but second place angler with 192 and a quarter closed the gap and finished short just a half an inch behind our leader. but taking home $5,355, Seth Taylor. Appreciate you making the drive, Seth. We'll let you come up and just tell me about how your week went and what it took to get it done, man. Thank you.
Yes, I want to thank God first and foremost, and also want to thank my wife. She's at home and she's been sick all week, so she's been supporting me from afar, so I appreciate her. And as far as the fishing goes, I had 2 days of practice, and I originally thought I was going to be shaking a minnow up here and trying to get them in deep water. But once I got here, I realized there was largemouth on beds. So on day one of practice, I found a bunch of largemouths on beds, but they were where people were fishing. They were in like 8 to 10 feet of water, which I haven't really bed fished very often in 8 to 10 feet of water. And I couldn't see them with my eyes. I had to use my electronics. So I accidentally caught a 22.5 on the first day of practice off a bed just to check to see what it was. So it wasn't smart. And then day two, I really just ran with that pattern and found, I think I marked over 100 beds in 10 feet of water in coves. And then my second half of the day, including in that 100 or so, was out at the main lake. And it was like 10 to 14 feet of water out there. There were smallmouth on beds just stacked on these humps. And so what I did for the event, I had some real nice ones, largemouths on beds. So day one, I went straight to those. Unfortunately, half of those were gone. And I had a few decent ones. I caught like a 21 even, I think, on day one, largemouth. And then I kind of ran my whole circuit of fish in all the coves, and I saved the main lake stuff for day two. And I wasn't sure, the beds that were on the main lake were mostly males during practice. They were like kind of like 16, 17 inchers. I didn't really jack too many of them. So today it was kind of just test it out, see what it's like out there, see if the big ones moved up, and they were everywhere. Like there was beds literally everywhere in like 10 to 14 feet of water on the main lake on these humps. And I just went around with the Nico rig, and I ran out of little weights for it. So I was just shoving anything with weight up in there to get it down in the bed quick. And they bit so easy. And I started the morning on day two on the largemouth stuff and only had like 81, 82 inches, something like that. So I spent the rest of the day out on the main lake, and honestly, it was like 18 to 19 inch smallmouth like every 15 minutes. And there's probably like 200 more beds out there that haven't even been fished. There's just so many. It's awesome. I haven't caught a smallmouth in like 10 years. I've never been to Dale Hollow. I was a little nervous as to what it was going to be like here. And the first smallmouth I hooked in the event was in like 5 feet of water. And that thing surprised me how far it jumped out of the water. I know they jump like crazy, but it was so close to me when I hooked it. It was exciting. So I appreciate everyone. Again, I appreciate my wife. Thank you. She's watching at home right now. And thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
All right, with 192 3/4 inches, winning his second Bassmaster KAYAK Series event, taking home $11,355, Ewing Minor. Good job, man. We'll go ahead and bring his other trophy up here. So Campbellsville University won the first one at Kissimmee, am I right? Now Carson Newman's got this one. And they got you. Congratulations, man. We'll let you talk about how your week went up here, how much practice you got, and if you can, what it took to get it done here. We appreciate you coming.
Yeah, so I showed up on Wednesday, I believe, and there would be a lot of fish on beds. It's just that time of year. I knew that I would have to find smallmouth in order to win. Just the largemouth here, even though they're spawned out right now, they're still short docky. The smallmouth carry a little more length. I was hoping I could catch smallmouth heads, but I couldn't find those. I had a bunch of different stuff marked. I was catching them on a jig head minnow, just scooting along bottom on points. They were tucked really close to the bottom, a bunch of suspenders, which I caught some in practice, but they were getting a lot more pressure than those ones laying on bottom. Had that active target too on there. I'm not sure if I would have been able to pick those fish up with a different brand of electronics, but I had one spot that I thought had a lot of potential during practice. I don't know what made it good. Honestly, it was big, long point, and there was just one small area on it. I pulled up to it yesterday, and I had 96 inches in 45 minutes and left it. Ended up culling one time and caught everything there today. Had 95 inches off of that one teeny little spot. I had some issues with my 360 that I love so much on my Hobie. It unfortunately breaks sometimes. So I was actually drifting to catch them. I'd use my motor to get on up above them, and I'd just float with the wind back down because I couldn't keep myself in position. And honestly, I think it ended up helping me because I was not catching them prior to that issue. And, you know, God has a plan for everything, and that I think that was his plan for me today. When it's your time, it's just your time.
Yeah, and you didn't quit.
No, it's not over until that 2 o'clock mark on today. But yeah, it was scary sitting there the rest of the day. I was still catching good 17, 18-inch fish, couldn't cull, just, you know, the gap slowly closing, and I've seen it before, and I don't like the way it usually ends, but today I had just enough, so that was good.
That's all you want is just what it takes to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, nothing less. We appreciate you. Anybody you want to thank?
I got to thank once again Carson Newman for everything they've done. It really wouldn't. None of this would be possible without that team. The dugout bait and tackle. They were the first ones to get me going in this kayak stuff. Newport Vessel Motors. I would have been stuck in the water today if it weren't for them. Hobie. It's still a great platform, even on the sometimes that some issues might happen. I also have to thank Brandon Palmer with Little Miami Outfitters. He just came out with a spinning rod that I had requested from him. It's a 610 medium light, and I caught every single fish on it this week. I don't think I lost a smallmouth in 2 days of competition. Maybe a little one, but yeah, it's the perfect rod for all of your finesse forward-facing sonar stuff. So go ahead and check those out.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Here you go.
You said it over here.
Come on. Set them over here for now. We can take photographs. All right, everybody. If you would, the check, everyone that cashed a check 23 through 10. Whenever we sign off, if you'll stand over there for just a quick minute. We're going to let Mark take pictures of everyone has a check or hardware. So, folks, this wraps up our third kayak event of the season. We appreciate you all following along on TourneyX from Bassmaster.com. Big shout out to Mark Cisneros for snapping the photographs that he does out on the water. Appreciate the commitment for taking in the series. Our next event will be on 10 Killer in Carson, Oklahoma, the last weekend of May. We appreciate that. Don't forget, anglers, we have a prize giveaway each event. During practice, you have until Tuesday after an event to upload GoPro footage into the Dropbox folder that I can provide to you, and we'll do a random generator. You can win a GoPro Hero 13. Once again, we couldn't be here without Byrdstown Pickett County Chamber of Commerce for bringing us up here, the Bill Dance Signature Lakes Initiative. Appreciate Dale Hollow. Again, you can't say enough about it. I want to thank my wife at home and the commitment you all have made to what we do to help me live my dream and do this for a job. And God bless you all. Be safe getting back